Well, hello there, everyone. You have right here is this right here will be a Brave America. If you want to kind of call it like a symbol right here for like have right here is a drawing right here of me right here on the American flag, and this right here could mean a number of things. But let's just say if one of those will be about speaking to the country, one of those in case of anybody that may warrant to word it that back up those couple years ago, whenever you would see like a cartoon TV show. Something such as maybe the original cartoon TV show of Captain America or some show like that. And want to know just a little bit too to where broadcasting live on local air or something like that. So yeah, that anything that is related to any source of cartoon series or something. But I know a lot of things that I hear about on the news are going to be related to about speaking up for the rights, and as well as anything else that's going to maybe be associated with the source of if it's sound quality. I'm like, yeah, what exactly what do cartoons necessarily tell us? But whenever I'm looking at this right here, I'm also thinking right here like a type of Brave America to where that this right here would represent me in front of the American flag. And I know that a lot of our veterans and patriots or anybody that may think that, okay, you in front of the American flag, what exactly does that mean? And I know that there's like not one student photo that I have in my whole collection from, even since the second and third grade that would show me in front of the American flag. So it seems like the only way that a picture like that would be taken maybe if you're going to be serving in the military or be a veteran or somebody like that. But let's just say that yeah, just to be a U.S. citizen. But still, though, that and a lot of things that I hear about on the news also is related to building the wall, and as well as other things, say passing a bill through the Congress, other things that they're talking about on the news. But I really just also want to mention here about College Junior. So by the year 2020 right here, that I use this year right here in case if somebody were asked, is that if you're going to maybe put that maybe like on a calendar. I'm like, by what day of the month are you going to use this right here? It's like for a calendar title. And yeah, I've already checked it out, and according to my understanding, that my birthday would come right around on that Saturday, Saturday, July 18th of 2020. So let's just say that possibility that by that time that maybe I'll be going into my junior year in college, and want to know just a little bit too to where that anything that they're going to be talking about on the news. And let's just say if one of these things would also be about yeah, anything else that's going on here in America, for what matters to us, and you have right here is for all Americans and children at freedom, for who we are. So I guess maybe another quote I could have maybe added is to for all Americans, and Americans also means children, and then younger citizens, and so yeah that so I guess somebody that may ask me that why is it that Americans and children are separate. I'm like, why is it that they have to be provided on? They're separate, and I guess really, do you have to be over 18 just to be able to be considered an American? And so that's why, in case of somebody were to ask me exactly that, why is it that it's worded like that? But I can give the reason as to where that for most of the time, though, that whenever I'm putting my work together right here, that a lot of times children are maybe not old enough, mature enough just to really understand and realize about what the words are related to. And but let's just say that with children though, that a lot of times it seems like too young to understand. I guess is kind of like what my statement is. Too young to understand the details. And but then the Americans, the adults, would maybe think too is to where that yeah, that you are growing up and mature enough to really just to understand the details really. But really though, I guess the question kind of goes by. You have right here is the American flag design right here. I use this for Brave America right here. But still, though, talking about building the wall, or if it's anything else that they're talking about for the nation, for this country. And if somebody were to ask me that, well, what are your opinions about maybe about the farmers, and then as well as building the wall? building a wall basically means, in the case of anybody that may want to work, that basically building the wall, building a wall between here and maybe if it's country Mexico, or maybe if it's between Honduras, or some country like that. If we're talking about building a wall between here and Mexico, or maybe if it's along the Pacific or the Indian Ocean, and basically that if we're talking about bridges that cross the seas, and bridges that go over certain areas of the Pacific or somewhere like that, and your one or two is toward it that if we build the wall, then how are we going to be able to expand our infrastructure, our bridges and all that? So, in case if somebody may ask me that, talking about this, and want to know that how come you did not, put a bridge right there in the background, a bridge, or maybe a big, tall. I'm like, yeah, one of those, the most amazing things that you've seen in America that, likely one or two that whenever I was drawing this, that there's going to be a lot of people, anybody else that's going to maybe suggest that, you could have maybe add maybe like a little darker scene right, like a little backdrop scene right here of a famous city, or maybe of a bridge or a landmark or something like that. But still, they have right here is a Brave America right here. But I mainly want to use this right here. It's like for like a portfolio right here represents you for junior though. And let's just say that by my junior year, knowing about the most important possibilities that could come up, and one of those possibilities is that I was a student during the time, and let's just say that if you got other the elections or something like that, something you hear about on the elections, saying that they need to have so many votes just to be able to pass a bill, and this is how. And I know, in case if somebody says, this is how that we were able to define certain information, is to where if you're a registered voter, if you are registered to vote, then this is basically about how we found the information. And so yeah, this right here is not my date of birth. So in case if we're wondering too, that if you're looking at the year, why is it that the year is going to kind of give everybody what you call this a moment to where that this is supposed to be like a type of clue right here, to where that okay, is that supposed to mean anything, and such as anything such as like any sorts of identification. College junior right here, college junior, that by that time that I'll be entering you for for the college junior year, and I kept thinking too that by 2019 I was going to be entering my college junior year, but let's just say though that by 2020, that depend on how everything goes, is that between a junior and senior year. But talk about for Brave America. Brave America basically means to me is to where that if you're brave enough to stand in front of a group of people and just start talking about stuff, being bright and positive about the future though. And a lot of times it seems like that a lot of us will probably be too shy to do something like that. But why is it that with this design right here, in case of anybody that may want to were that really though the way I have this placed right here is almost like that if it's supposed to appear like on a TV show or something like that, and any sorts of illustration work, and want to know too is that really if it's supposed to mark for the freedom for the country, or is it just supposed to be marked because you were a student during the time? And I could probably be honest with anybody. It was supposed to mark that I was a student during the time, not really that, during that time that there was a war that was going on. Like, yeah, during that time that, I was, knowing that something that was going on here in this country or something like that, or something to help Congress with or something like that. So in case that somebody may want to worry that anything else that you may have a question about, and but still though that one of those questions would be as to where to all Americans and children. So I think that usually that the President's State of the Union address is usually titled for all Americans, and so I know that Brave America for what matters though. But you see right here, this right here was about 2 years ago. So since then I've updated it. But still, whenever I was drawing this, I mainly wanted to show right here is that this right here will be example right here of me right here. And America does not represent just the 4th of July, or just based on the wars, or if it's anything related to building a wall or something like that. That was around my birthday, everybody. My birthday came after the 4th of July, and I really don't know what I would say that if somebody were to say that whenever the wall is going to be built, or if everybody, or if all Americans could have access to their own treasury account, to where if it's a Department of Treasury, in case of somebody that may ask me that if there's anything inside, that maybe that if there's anything such as, if we can all write our own rule on a Declaration of Independence, and one of those rules would be is to where a source of education that maybe all children would need to be aware of, and no matter if it's email alerts or anything like that, and you're likely one too that okay anything that is related to that this was your idea from a few months ago, but then now people are now following up about that. But still, though, that this right here may be like an example right here for like a creative idea for like maybe for a student ID. But let's just say that maybe if Congress uses right here just to pass a bill, and in case of anybody that may ask me that, do you think that you really would you authorize Congress to do that? Let's just say that if they can maybe use your information, like use your creative idea, just to be able to, for Congress. But still, though, that as I say that that they talk about a lot of the stuff in Congress so many times to where half the time it seems like that it's going to be wallpapered all over the media. And you're likely wondering too that the reason why I put this together was to speak up for my rights, about for Brave America. It's supposed to be about getting away from all for being not being so shy in front of a group of people and talk about what you think that's right for what goes on in this country. But still, though, then let's just say that maybe like a crumpled up map, and I know crumpled up map I mean by is to where that this this painting right here was originally printed on a piece of paper, and let's just say that you decide to crumble it up and just do all sorts of different types of shapes and all that stuff just to maybe show it, and then let's just say that that maybe if there's a change in a direction or something like that for where it goes to, really, I really don't know. But other than that, Brave America, though, I mainly want to talk about right here for 2020 right here, because in case of anybody that may ask me that, okay, 2020, that, exactly what exactly does that mean right there for 2020? It means by, in case of anybody say that's around the time that I'll be entering my junior year. And I kept thinking too, by next year, I'll be entering my junior year, but then by 2020, and knowing about if I'm going to be graduating. But some of us Americans may also think is toward that there's supposed to be maybe like a book or a calendar published knowing about, the good brave America, young man or something like that. But I tell everybody that, I'm mainly doing this for my source of education. But, the bright source of education would also maybe be about, in case of anybody that may warrant toward it, building the wall between here and maybe countries of Mexico or somewhere like that. Really, who's brave enough to speak up about that, and who's brave enough to speak about anything that they don't like for what's going on? But still, talk about for college junior, and so I know that looking at this right here, and in case somebody may wonder too that that with anything that goes on, in the country, that want to know just a little bit of that too, to where okay, anything that goes on, in this country though, that you're like, that you're gonna have that to where that you speak up, if you feel comfortable speaking up about something. But really, though, that this right here is supposed to be an example of me as a college student, and not really that, but still could have also be marked as for a United States citizen. But Mike, we'll just see what happens, huh? But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.